The question, how did Adolf Hitler die, continues to grip historians and readers worldwide. The official version is straightforward. Adolf Hitler died by suicide on April 30, 1945, deep within a fortified Berlin bunker. But the story behind that moment is soaked in mystery, myth, and hidden truths. In this detailed breakdown, we'll examine how did Adolf Hitler die, factually and historically. From eyewitness reports and Soviet secrecy to forensic evidence and conspiracy theories, we'll uncover what really happened in those final hours beneath Berlin. The bunker beneath Berlin. Hitler's final hideout. To understand how did Adolf Hitler die, we must begin with the Führerbunker, his final refuge as World War II collapsed around him. Buried 55 feet beneath the Reich Chancellery, the bunker held 18 rooms and served as Hitler's command center and last home. Here, surrounded by Joseph Goebbels, Martin Bormann, Eva Braun, and other inner circle loyalists, Hitler spent his last days in an atmosphere of desperation, paranoia, and defeat. His health was deteriorating, his empire crumbling, and his confidence eroded. Soviet troops at the gates. Red Army closes in as Soviet forces advanced into Berlin in April 1945. Hitler became increasingly isolated. Knowing capture was inevitable, he sought to control his legacy in death. Understanding how did Adolf Hitler die includes knowing the immense psychological weight of defeat crushing him during those last hours. On April 29, the news of Benito Mussolini's execution reached Hitler. Horrified at the thought of public humiliation, he finalized his political will, married Eva Braun, and prepared to die on his own terms. The final act, cyanide and a bullet. So, how did Adolf Hitler die exactly? On the afternoon of April 30, 1945, inside the Führerbunker, Hitler and Eva Braun retreated to their private quarters. She bit into a cyanide capsule. He took cyanide and simultaneously shot himself in the head with his service pistol. This dual method was part of his fear that the cyanide might not work, or that someone would intervene. After a loud gunshot was heard, aides entered the room and discovered their bodies. Eyewitness reports. First to the scene, eyewitnesses including Heinz Ling and Otto Gunsch confirmed the scene. Hitler slumped on a bloodstained sofa, Eva beside him, lifeless. Both bodies were carried up the stairs to the Reich Chancellery garden, soaked in gasoline, and set on fire, following Hitler's final instructions. This chilling detail is crucial to fully answering the question, how did Adolf Hitler die, and what happened to his remains afterward? What did the Soviets know? Deliberate deception. Despite photographic evidence and forensic proof, how did Adolf Hitler die was not something the Soviets made clear to the world. Stalin deliberately spread misinformation, suggesting Hitler had fled. This fueled global conspiracy theories for decades. In reality, Soviet troops recovered dental remains, later confirmed through Hitler's dental records. But the false narrative persisted, leading many to question whether Adolf Hitler really died in 1945. Forensic confirmation. Solving the mystery scientifically. In 2018, French scientists conducted a study on Hitler's teeth and skull fragments, confirming he died in the bunker. The findings were published in the European Journal of Internal Medicine. The forensic results removed all doubt. How did Adolf Hitler die is no longer a mystery in the scientific community. Hitler's dental remains matched perfectly with his dental records, and trace cyanide was found. This proves beyond reasonable doubt that he died by suicide in 1945, as the Allies had initially reported. Eva Braun. Loyal to the end. Eva Braun's role in how did Adolf Hitler die is often underplayed. She had the opportunity to flee, yet chose to die beside him. The pair had been in a relationship for over a decade but had kept it private. They married just hours before their suicide. According to Secretary Trottel Junge, Braun calmly accepted her fate, reportedly saying, "Take my fur coat as a memory." Braun's death by cyanide mirrored Hitler's, marking a twisted romantic finale to their story. For deeper insights on Braun's role, read Roger O. Green's analysis. The disposal of the bodies, another key point in understanding how did Adolf Hitler die, is what happened after his death. His body and Eva Braun's were burned in a bomb crater outside the bunker. The Soviets later exhumed and reburied the remains several times to hide the location. Finally, in 1970, the KGB cremated Hitler's remains and scattered the ashes in a river near Magdeburg. Conspiracies and misinformation. Despite conclusive evidence, many people still ask, How did Adolf Hitler die, or if he even died at all? Popular conspiracy theories suggest he escaped to Argentina, he was cloned or replaced with a body double, he built a Nazi base in Antarctica. These claims have been thoroughly debunked by intelligence agencies and scientific studies. DPA fact-checking confirms Hitler's suicide and first-hand accounts. Life in the Führerbunker. In a rare interview, Erna Flegel, a nurse who was in the bunker, confirmed the sequence of events. Her testimony supports everything known about how did Adolf Hitler die, from the cyanide to the bullet, to the burning of the bodies. She described Hitler in his last days as graying, trembling, and aged. He said goodbye to everyone on April 29 before taking his own life the next day. Aftermath and the collapse of the Third Reich. How did Adolf Hitler die also marked the collapse of Nazi Germany. Just one day after his suicide, Goebbels and his wife poisoned their 6 children and took their own lives. Within a week, Germany officially surrendered on May 8, 1945. His death brought relief to millions and signaled the end of the deadliest conflict in modern history. The bunker today, a parking lot over evil. The site of Hitler's death is now a parking lot in Berlin. The German government has intentionally made it unremarkable, to prevent it from becoming a neo-Nazi shrine. Still, the world hasn't forgotten. Every year, historians, journalists, and even how did Adolf Hitler die? Now we know how did Adolf Hitler die? The answer is clear. He committed suicide on April 30, 1945, in his underground Berlin bunker, by ingesting cyanide and shooting himself. His body was burned and later destroyed by Soviet forces. Forensic science, historical records, and multiple eyewitnesses confirm the facts. Although conspiracy theories persist, the historical truth is undeniable. Hitler died a broken man, hiding underground, with no army left and his empire in flames. And that is how Adolf Hitler died.